Geordie Journo's back for the new Premier League season, where Newcastle United have drawn 0-0 with Aston Villa at Villa Park. Plenty to talk about on and off the pitch. 0-0 suggests an uneventful game, but probably anything but. And yeah, where would you like to start, Liam?
I think probably the most newsy line from the whole thing, apart from the game itself, is obviously Alexander Isak.
Oh, not him again.
I can feel the sigh.
Yeah, everyone
among people watching this video.
No, I just thought I think the story moved on today.
Yeah,
and the story moved on in a way that there's been so much said and so much done, not done this summer. Definitely a lot being said, and the one people who haven't really had their opportunity to have their say is Newcastle United fans. And Newcastle United fans today got their opportunity to say exactly what they think about a sulky Skyver who isn't here. They showed the big support for the 11, 12, 13, the full squad who gave everything, the absolute all out on the pitch there today with no help from said sulky Skyver. And Newcastle fans gave them a lot of support, clapped them, sung their names, chanted, gave them everything, gave the manager everything. And as they turned their backs and walked off the pitch, and the camera, as you mentioned, the camera came on and interviewing Anthony Gordon, Newcastle United fans timed it perfectly and gave him both barrels, in my opinion, and he deserves it. I've said it all along, his behaviour is a disgrace. I think there's implications. What difference does it make to the situation? I don't really know. I mean, I'm sure we'll discuss that, but I respect it, massively respect it. I think it was the right timing, the right tone, and this was their opportunity to let everybody know what they feel about it. Newcastle United is not, Geordies were not the type to be pushed around and taken the pee out of, and that's what that bloke's doing. Skiving, sulking, not interested, doesn't care about the lads who stand shoulder to shoulder with him, doesn't care about the lads and lasses who go everywhere and spend their last pennies on supporting him and everybody else and paying his bloody wages as well. So I think that was spot on. Does it mean he can't ever come back? I don't know the answer to that, and I think some people, even the ones shouting, could find it within themselves to welcome him back, but they got the chance to say exactly what they felt about that man today, and I'm all for it.
It was recognition of the team efforts as well, because I think it's sort of an easy argument if you say, but if Alexander Isak plays that game, Newcastle probably win that. So you've seen the fans have came, travelled in the numbers, seen the effort the team has put in on the pitch, given the circumstances, given all the noise around Alexander Isak, a difficult summer, and it was good to see that recognised and channeled in the right way. As you said, they didn't do it during the game, they didn't do it immediately after the game. It was when the players had turned. Anthony Gordon was being interviewed by whatever TV station it was, I think it was TNT, and it was very deliberate that Newcastle fans called Alexander Isak a greedy something, and then it was sort of faintly after you could hear a chance from the concourse of, "We don't care about Isak,
Ashley
he don't
rendition.
care about me, all we care about was NUFC." So I think I've got big praise for Newcastle fans today, because I thought they'd done it in the right way. They support the team for 90 minutes, and then when the time came, the right moment came, they expressed their views on Isak, and they've got every right to do so, because your thoughts, I think the way he's acted is an absolute disgrace, and him not being here today essentially cost the team as well, potentially an opening day role.
Yep, the Newcastle fans did the club proud, the players did the club proud, and Eddie Howe spoke about the chance after the game, and was it almost, maybe I'm reading between the lines a little bit here, did he almost endorse it as much as he possibly could have?
Said the fans entitled to say what they want.
Yeah.
Travel around the country, support them. They're entitled to say what they want, and that's exactly right.
I don't think he endorsed. I
think
he went as far as he could. I think he was sing it again.
He was speaking sort of generally about the situation, not necessarily Isak, but that's what it is. It's the Isak is the centre of this problem, and to be fair, Eddie Howe, I think he'd be very brave to criticise Newcastle fans, to be honest. I think he recognises it.
When they will be there long after Alexander Isak's gone, whether it's now or next summer or whenever, the fans will still be there, and Eddie Howe needs them on his side. Why would you break that for a bloke who's given out?
They've shown very little or zero loyalty.
Yeah. So yeah, will we hear that chant against Liverpool? We'll wait and see.
I think if the home crowd's different to the away crowd, isn't it? I think today was the day to do it. That'll just be electric, and that'll just be so supercharged in terms of emotion and energy, and I can't wait for it, mate. Like genuinely, like I cannot wait to get back, get involved with that.
Just sticking with the Isak situation, I mean, Eddie Howe is still left for Dalton for Alexander Isak to return.
Of course he has.
Could he return against Liverpool? Very, very unlikely.
So talk everybody through, because you guys were both sitting in the press conference. I was sitting at the site because I was sort of doing bits and bobs of work. You guys listen to everything, so it'd be interesting to hear both of your thoughts. Come to you first, Don. Can you summarise, like give a pitted answer, tell everybody exactly what he said in that press conference.
Summarise, but give exactly what he said.
Well, like sort of key points. What you think he really got across, because there was a lot to take from it, wasn't there?
About Isak or the game as a whole?
About Isak, not the game yet.
Right. He basically said the situation hasn't changed. He echoed what he said yesterday to some degree, but then said the door is still very much open. I want a quick resolution as soon as possible. It's what he's already said, to be honest. And then when asked about the chance, Jordan asked about it, and what did he say really? It was he was like, the fans can say what they want, all I can say is I love when I go over to the fans and clap them after the game, and then the support is there. I don't think he really added an awful lot to that.
Was there anything else he was asked about?
He did put it on the player, where essentially admitted that it was the player's decision whether he comes back or not, which I think he said pretty much anyway, without saying it. He has already put that over. But I just think that the situation is very, very different today, because the supporters have expressed their views. Like, it's already a difficult situation. I think that adds to it. Yeah. How do you come back from it?
Well, the player is now.
I don't think he can.
The player is now going to be fined, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes, he's officially missed a Premier League game. That is a breach. So yeah,
he's going to be fined. Do we know what? Maximum for me.
He's not fulfilling his contract.
I think it's a really strong message from a football club that needs to take
I'll get
control.
A statement out.
Good shout. Needs to take a strong message and control of a situation. Punish him. Don't pander to him just because you might want him back, and because he's a £150 million asset. I don't care if he's a £150 asset. Somebody doesn't do their job, and sort of not only doesn't do their job, sticks two fingers up to the job really.
It makes everyone else that you work with
have to work harder.
Difficult.
Exactly. So now you're going to get the full force. That would be my approach to it.
Totally.
And look, if he keeps missing them, you'll get it again. For me, if I was in charge, keep getting it. It's your choice to change. You can come back. Don't.
But the fact that Newcastle fans sang that today, I mean, we're all sort of fans, as we're saying, we've all felt that frustration. The fact that was put across today. How do you come back on that? If he has to step onto the pitch after the transfer window closes, or maybe even before then, unlikely, how do you step back into that?
People are only hurt.
As people say, he comes back and starts scoring goals. Is it really that simple?
People are only hurting because he's sort of railing against the thing that they love so much. It's Newcastle United. That's where the hurt comes from. It's not really that he wants to leave. It's almost like he's really pushing against Newcastle United and everything Newcastle United are trying and wanting to be. He's a block. He's like a wall in the way of that at the moment. So I see why people are angry. Do I think how do you come back from that? Very easily.
But it's not just a case of scoring goals.
No, very easily. He goes back in, when they're back in on Monday, he has a conversation with the manager and says, I'm willing to come back and I'm willing to commit, and just leaves the business of transfers to his agent and to the football club.
Which should have been done in the first place.
Exactly, but that's the easy way back. Then, to get back on side with the fans, he would have to show a heartfelt apology. Now, if he didn't do that, which I don't think he will, I don't even think it's a prospect, he didn't do that, just scoring goals initially doesn't change that.
The only time we'll see Alexander Isak with a smile on his face again at Newcastle if he's got a pen signing a new contract or release clause next summer.
He's a strange character, so I'm not sure even when he scores goals if it would all feel genuine. I think this has gone too far to ever feel love again.
Yeah.
I think it's just a marriage of convenience if he stays.
Yeah.
That's all it ever
totally,
is.
Yeah.
And I think fans will always see that as well.
Yeah.
And I think most people, even if he comes in and does well, I think that the focus won't be, can we keep Isak beyond next summer? It will literally be, if he comes back and does, it's like, he's gone. How do we replace that bloke now? Because he's gone. It doesn't matter. I don't want to keep him. He's gone.
Yeah.
That's where I would feel about it.
Yeah.
Can you get him on side enough to do something and help you out and help the lads there? Or can you not? I mean, they're not going to be happy. There's loads of them not going to be happy with this. They hear it, they hear the noises, they're not happy about it. And they've got good right not to be happy about it.
There was a little quote from Anthony Gordon doing the round, wasn't it, after the game? And it's not a direct dig at at Alexander Isak, but it was talking about sort of the togetherness and not being broken and things like that. And I mean, again, it's not aimed at Isak, but it's very relevant in the current situation.
Yeah, it was more about the situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
it is going to be spicy next week. He's a Scouser, he knows. He knows exactly what it is. Liverpool fan, he knows exactly what the situation is, so it does make it spicy. He'll be bang up for that. I just want to see him on the left. They need to pull their finger out this week and get a striker, any striker, just to fill that gap. That was the other thing that seemed to come from the press conference. And that's what I'm trying to get you to go towards.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if
go on then.
Well, Eddie Howe, me and Jordan both asked about another player through the door. Eddie Howe, non-committal really, but did sort of echo his previous comments. Wants a striker. That's always been consistent throughout the summer. Need a Callum Wilson replacement. Alexander Isak situation only exacerbates that. And then also, he's gone on the record about, I almost said Morgan Rogers, that would have been a good signing. Jacob Ramsey, who...
I thought Morgan Rogers was stinking today, by the way, but he would be a good signing.
Wasn't very good.
Kept falling on his own feet.
Jacob Ramsey, a player we love and will add a great option in Newcastle's midfield after losing Sean Longstaff, and he also mentioned Joe Willock as well due to his injury.
Can I roll it back though? You didn't hit the point I was meaning.
Oh.
He said about one striker.
Yeah, so it was my question at the end when I asked, is it your wish to get a striker in before Liverpool? And he specifically spoke about a Callum Wilson replacement.
Said it's a Callum Wilson replacement that I'm looking for.
Which I thought was quite telling. Didn't even acknowledge the other situation that's going on. It was, we've lost Callum Wilson, we need a replacement for Callum Wilson. So as I say, as it creeps closer to the deadline, the likelihood of Alexander Isak staying increases. But I just
by nature it does. Yeah. You can't really get away from that.
Sorry, I was changing the point. Going.
No, I was just going to say it would be stupid to think that those waters won't be tested again.
I was about to, sorry, that's the point I was going to make. Where this has happened this week in the build-up to that game on Monday.
If I was Liverpool, I would.
Yeah.
If I was Liverpool, I would cause as much chaos as possible. Literally throw the spanner in the works again, as close as you can to that game where you think it'll impact. Right before, if I'm Liverpool, right before Eddie Howe has to face the media again, Thursday night. There we go. That's what I would do if I was trying to cause as much chaos as possible. The little 1%. Whether they do that, I don't know. Maybe they're not as petty as me.
It might be subscribers getting ideas off you.
Yeah, there might be. Yeah. Don't do it, Honor. Well, right. So I think we've addressed everything there. That's probably going to be a decent title for the video, I would imagine.
We'll get something in there.
Should we get?
So yeah, we spent nearly 15 minutes speaking about someone who wasn't there. I think the second half of the video speaking about what we actually saw and the great job the lads on the pitch playing for Newcastle United did today.
After a few words from Dom.
Comply IT Limited. Worrying about disposing of your old IT equipment? Don't be. Comply IT handle everything. Secure collection, detailed tracking and certified data destruction. That's Comply IT Limited. Four Rivers Financial Planning offer holistic financial advice for all stages of life, ensuring your plan remains robust and adaptable in the ever-changing world we live in. So those were our sponsors, links in the description below, and of course you can follow any of the three of us on X, links also to our accounts in the description below.
Particularly if you're verified.
Inside joke.
Please, I want money on Twitter. The game. The game itself.
Right.
My thoughts. Do you want them?
No, actually, Jordan, what are yours?
Go on.
I don't like going first. I like bouncing off people.
Go on.
Right. My thoughts. So I thought Newcastle for 70 minutes of that game were the better team. I think obviously the final 20 minutes was clouded by the fact that Villa went down to 10 men. But first off, I thought they were the five by far the better team. Had two big chances in the opening 10 minutes. Were through Anthony Elanga, who I don't know, he didn't score. It seemed like slow it down. He's such a rapid player, but just slowed the whole thing down.
Never looked convincing, didn't he?
No, and just a really poor finish made it easy for the keeper to save. Anthony Gordon with a header. Again, that's where I go back to sort of having a striker in there probably scores. But I mean, apart from that, it didn't really create too much in the game, but I thought they were in control second half. Villa then stepped it up. I think the red card sort of killed them a little bit. Newcastle managed to gain a foothold again, and as much as I thought they were unlucky not to win the day, they also didn't create that many chances apart from the 210 minutes, if that makes sense. I thought they were a better team, but they didn't create too much, in all honesty, and that's when it goes back to the striker situation and lack of firepower.
It was a frustrating one, I thought. I think, like you say, they were on the front foot for large parts of it. I think in the first half they were excellent, and then Villa came into it a bit more in the second half, and then the red card happens, momentum shifts, and Newcastle are pushing without being able to have someone to break the lines, find the killer pass, killer shot. Thought Anthony Gordon could have been that man, and then Matty Cash took a couple of blows from Gordon and Harvey Barnes in quick succession. Good blocks. I thought the keeper for Villa came in, made a couple of good saves, but other than that, did Newcastle really do enough to actually win the game? And I'd probably say no, despite being the better team.
I think he's both done a really good job of summarising the whole game, so I'm probably going to pick out a couple of key individuals in the game that I thought were good and bad.
Yep.
The first one I'm going to talk about doesn't fit either category, actually, will be Anthony Gordon. I think one of the biggest casualties of the whole Alexander Isak situation is Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
The fact that Anthony Gordon is wasted at centre forward in a selfless, tireless performance.
Workhorse striker.
Yeah, it's just such a shame. And he went out there for about 3 minutes at the end, and you are suddenly like, right, wow, that's the Anthony Gordon that we know. Yeah. Can't wait to see him out on the left. They just need to do anything possible to get anybody through the door to allow him to play there. Or, honestly, I know this might sound stupid, I know he can play centre forward, but just because he can doesn't mean he has to. He's probably one of the most exciting left forwards, left wingers in world football when he's on his day. He's incredible, fast, can beat a man, just brilliant on his day. So just play him on the left and just make somebody else make do at centre forward. I really would rather that. How wasted I see Anthony Gordon. Second one would be Anthony Elanga. I thought that was a really disappointing performance.
And
probably one of the most disappointing debuts I've seen in a long time.
I think that's all.
I think
fair enough. I just my opinion. I thought he was very poor with the ball. Very poor. He fell over his own feet. He hit the first man with every cross. He stumbled through people. He just didn't have a good game. Now, I'm not judging the player in general. I just thought, wow, I really expected you to explode today, and it wasn't that at all. And I wonder how much that miss very early on was in his head. So look, he'll come again, and he's got talent, and I'm sure he'll be fine. But I was really disappointed by his performance. And then on the flip side, I thought Dan Burn was an absolute unbelievable presence in the centre of that
How would you
defence.
describe him as, Tom?
I was going to say the word, but you both called him a colossus in your match ratings, so I couldn't do
We
the
weren't sat
same.
next to each other today, so
No, we weren't.
No,
there was a few people between them.
But I nearly said it there, so I think that's a resounding colossus.
Dan Burn.
Yeah.
I think the entire situation, the pride in wearing the shirt, has galvanised Dan Burn, and he was just winning everything. He was angry at just the ball, he was attacking everything, he won everything, didn't give Villa a sniff. And after being haunted here by Villa's pace and directness and countering just back in April, I thought didn't give them a sniff today.
He even won the ball off Fabian Schär when he was about to cross it in the back post. Forgot what box he was in.
Right. He defended both goals very
He did.
well.
But no, I thought Dan Burn was the standout man
He was
today.
the man of the match.
I don't think Livramento had his best game. I thought Tonali flitted in and out. I thought Bruno wasn't his best on the ball. I thought Schär was decent, cool and calm. Trippier I thought was good again. Pope didn't have a lot to do, but when he was needed, he was good. He swept
Got
up.
off his line today.
Come off his line
Thought
quite
his
well.
distribution was good, and I'd wrote that down, and then he booted one right into the press box, didn't he?
It was safety first, and we said we didn't mind him doing that.
Right.
The one where he put
Is that the
straight
one where he
up.
nearly hit
Yeah,
Robbie
yeah.
Fowler?
Yeah, he hit Robbie Fowler, yeah. Picked him out. But
I think that was on purpose, I think so as well. I think he did it on purpose. But
Who else have I missed in that team?
Joe
Bonds.
Linton, Harvey Barnes.
I'm not sure Joe Linton looks quite up to speed.
No, he looked like a player who hasn't played in the Premier League since the last visit.
And Harvey Barnes, I thought he had so many opportunities to
There's
do
so a lot
so
of the
much
ball.
more, and I just thought he was he wasn't good with it. He was wasteful. I thought he had a real opportunity when the two wingers. That's why him and Barnes and Elanga wouldn't have got very good merit marks where I'd have done it, because when the game stretched, when they went down to 10, Newcastle were easily easily able to get the ball out wide, and it was like, you're now 1-on-1, and when Elanga tried to go beyond quite often, and it didn't come off for him, Barnes didn't, and it was like, come on. And then he hit probably the worst shot I've ever seen it ever, when he was taking
it's like a proper trademark.
so much didn't
Barnes
expect
zone.
it. So no, look, it wasn't as an overall performance, as you both said, Newcastle United were the better team in the first half, without really creating a bucket load of chances. Then I thought Villa got a really good grip on the game in the first 20 minutes, and I think the red card really helped Newcastle. It stemmed the flow of Villa, who I think were building momentum. Watkins was starting to get one-on-ones and having shots. There was a couple of headers went in where Pope had to make saves. Straight at him, that's fine, but you're starting to feel like this is coming, they're starting to build momentum, and the red card stopped it, which was great, and it was a clear red card. And it was good play. I mean, that was, if we were talking about Elanga and pick him out for the negatives, it was the best thing he did all game, was thread that ball through for Anthony Gordon, who we know he's got pace to burn. He was clever, got his body the right way of the defender, and the defender could do nothing about it. So no, I think there's a lot. I thought Eddie Howe deserves a lot of merit marks today, actually, because the team came here last year and got absolutely
Without Eddie Howe,
but it was his team got absolutely rinsed, like beyond belief. It was one of the worst. And that can happen against these. And Newcastle worked everything out, and it was a very well disciplined and organised performance, without really, apart from Dan Burn, any stars in it. But it was disciplined. It worked well. They were rubbish, being honest. I think that home crowd, it was loud at the start, was very quiet at the end, because
they couldn't pass a ball in the first half.
They couldn't fight.
They started directing the frustrations at the referee, who probably did give a few 50-50s either way. I don't think he was brilliant. Craig Pawson, he got the red card right. There was a penalty shout for Newcastle early on, which could have been a penalty, and I think what you said, more or less fair. I think Anthony Elanga was underwhelming. I wouldn't say it was one of the worst debuts I've ever seen, but
no, it was a long time.
He was underwhelming and didn't quite grasp his opportunity, and I think you're right, the early chance possibly knocked his confidence.
Possibly in his head.
Yes. One player I would like to mention that you sort of said he had an average performance. I thought Sandro Tonali in the first half was Newcastle's best player. Faded slightly in the second half.
That's what I mean,
But then when Newcastle...
Loads of tackles.
Exactly. How many times did he win the ball back from Newcastle?
Yeah.
He was cleaning up when Joelinton and Bruno did not have the best games in possession.
No.
I thought tactically, positionally, they were quite good at limiting Villa.
They were very good at it.
But then once the ball got at the feet, they couldn't quite get it out, whereas Tonali did both well.
You make a really interesting point there. Like, it was the tactical discipline, and I was watching that midfield really closely, how narrow and tight, and that line, we could see it directly where we were, particularly in that half. But it was compact, and it was excellent.
A disciplined performance.
And Tonali was one of the ones directing that. Actually, he was quite vocal, and he was pushing up, and he was good.
Yeah, it was highlighted to me because there was a Villa fan behind us. I don't know if you heard him, but he went, "Tonali, boss in this midfield."
Right.
Did
he swear you?
In a Brummie accent. I was like, you know what?
He is.
If I'd have done half-time player ratings, it would have been 8 out of 10 midfield boss.
Would it?
I think I gave him an 8 out of 10. Like.
Do you call him boss?
Yeah.
The boss.
What was he
man?
by the end? 7.
No, I think I kept him as an 8. It would have been a 7.5 if I used the Newcastle World format. Or if it was out of 100, it would have been 79 or something. 70. No. 76.
Just under.
Yeah.
Just tipped under. Yeah, fair shout. He would have been lower end of the 70s for me, but I think he was a 7 out of 10.
I thought Tino Livramento was okay as well. I know you said he didn't have a great game. I think a game where you keep a clean sheet and keep a player like John McGinn relatively quiet. He made a few good tackles. It was a bit chaotic the way he made the tackles and blocked things, but I thought he was generally quite good. And
Fans love him. I love him as well. He's great.
Okay.
See, that was a smile on your face.
I did that smile.
And I thought Bruno came into the game later on. But all in all, I think it was a good performance by Newcastle, albeit a one where they sort of lacked any real conviction in the final third.
Well said.
Right?
Should we go back on the road?
You're the man wrapping up, so we need to get back on the road, don't we?
Yes. So we've been the Geordie Journos at Villa Park. Might do a midweek video. If not, we will be at Eddie Howe's press conference ahead of that juicy encounter.
I'm saying we will. I'm not going to be honest. You need to do one.
Your route.
Well, you have to do one.
Oh yeah.
You're going to send me a video clip from...
I could if you want.
Not turn your phone off lightning.
No.
Please don't be uncontactable.
For Jordan's sake.
I'll be around.
Might need you.
I'll be around.
So yeah, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe and ring the bell for all your latest Geordie Journos content. Thanks for watching.